in 2011, I never ever thought that I will be a refugee one day. And I did. So July 2015, I had to leave from Syria. Between Turkey and Greece, the boat's supposed to be for 9 people. We were 54 in it. We had one pregnant lady. She was on her 8th month. She was screaming. She was so in pain. The journey took around 3.5 hours. And we thought for a minute that she's gonna deliver in the boat. I never ever heard of her again. It was so scary. Woman is not half of our society. It's the whole of it.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Born Into podcast. I'm Isra, Chaker, CEO of Every Pregnancy, and I'm so happy you're here. This podcast is about something that impacts every one of us, yet is rarely talked about enough, the health of moms. Each week, we bring you stories of courage, resilience, facts, and stories of hope from around the world about what it is like to be a mom, help a mom, or support a mom. Today's guest is so special. He's someone who's rebuilt his life from the ground up. Imad Alarnab was once a successful restaurateur in Damascus, running restaurants, juice bars, and cafes across the city. It took just 6 days at the height of the Syrian crisis for all of that to be destroyed. In 2015, he left Syria to find a safer future for his family, planning to bring them later. He made his way to Calais, where he spent 64 days sleeping on the steps of a church. And during the day, he would cook for fellow refugees up to 400 people at a time, using whatever ingredients he could find. When he finally reached London, he started again from nothing. And through pop-ups, community kitchens, and sheer will and determination, he turned cooking into a lifeline, raising funds for hospitals, for displaced families, and for mothers and newborns surviving conflict. And here's the part that stays with me. He says his mother was his only influence, which honestly is exactly the heart of this show, exactly the heart of every pregnancy, how one woman's life can ripple outward and save lives far beyond her own family. Imad, you are a dear friend of ours here at Every Pregnancy and an ambassador for change. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Isra.
Joining us all the way from London. How are you doing, Imad?
Very good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Isra. Thank you.
Imad, your story is so inspirational. And for everyone who's going to be listening to this podcast, they're going to want to know, is this the Imad's Syrian Kitchen on Instagram? The guy who, mashallah, has seen Prince Charles and has catered for the Queen and has amazing celebrities who are big fans of who he is and the work that you do and your delicious food. But tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you want listeners to know about you first.
So my name is Imad Alarnab, Syrian British chef. I used to be a refugee in the UK before I get my citizenship. And I'm a father of 3 beautiful daughters and proudly a son of a beautiful mother who passed away 50 days after leaving Syria. She will always be with me. I will always seek her approvals. A husband of beautiful wife as well.
You are all of those things, and
Thank you.
May Allah, have your mom rest in peace. Allah yarhamha.
Allah yarhamha. Thank you.
That is so tragic that she wasn't able to witness all the incredible things that you are doing now. But I can tell you, Imad, if there means anything, is that I'm sure she would be so incredibly proud
Thank you so much.
for what you've built. And honestly, watching you with your family and the way that you interact and honestly talk about moms and supporting every pregnancy is a beautiful testament to how you were raised and the feeling and the culture that you were raised in. So, you say that you're a refugee from Syria, Damascus, in the height of the revolution, right, that we all know started in 2011. What was it like for you, Imad, to leave and be uprooted from your own home to start a new life in a foreign city with truly nothing with you?
Actually, when first of all, I started my life as a fashion designer.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, all of my family works in fashion designing and textiles. My father, my 14 uncles, all of them.
14.
All of them. I have 98 cousins, so all of them works in textiles and fashion designing. I'm the only person in the whole family decided, you know what, I'm not going to do this. And it was because of influence of my mother. She used to be the greatest cook ever. And I owe her everything, by the way. She's the one who teach me English, and she's the one who teach me how to cook. Like if she designed my own future, like. So I had one of the for a minute in Damascus, I felt like I have my own empire. 3 restaurants, 5 juice bars, 4 coffee shops, and um, as you say, in 2011, my biggest problem was where we're gonna spend our summer vacation. I never ever thought any of what happened in Syria could ever happen to me. Like
Yeah.
I felt so protective, like nothing like this would ever happen to me. My first restaurant was Castello in Hamidiyya Market. The other 2 restaurants, Panino Al Hatim in Sayyidah Zainab. 2 of them used to open 100 days, like 24/7, 100 days a year. We used to be very popular
Wow.
in Sayyidah Zainab. And yeah, we had an amazing life. So to become, for all of this to be destroyed in 6 days was completely shock. And but at that time, you don't really have enough time to process all of what happening. You just need to think about your priorities. And this is where my wife and daughters, the safe of my parents. So we were keep shifting from one place to another until I couldn't take it anymore in 2015. And this is where I've decided, you know what, I'm going to leave Syria. My mother, as I told you, she's the strongest person in the family. She supposed to take care of my family while I'm away. But yeah, unfortunately, she passed away 50 days later. It was, yeah, and I couldn't go back because, I was escaping the regime. And I wasn't a hero or anything, like, I just spoke up, like, nothing serious, like I didn't do something major. I just spoke up, and that's it. This is all my crime. And so July 2015, I had to leave from Syria. And as a Syrian passport holder, I couldn't really do much. So I went to Lebanon, and then from Lebanon to Turkey. Lucky me, at that time, as a Syrian, I didn't really need a visa and to Turkey until a week later. So yeah, it was a perfect timing. From Turkey to Greece, Macedonia, Serbia, Hungary, Austria, Germany,
Oh my
France,
God.
and then the UK.
That is such a long journey.
Yeah.
And, obviously you didn't know where you were going to truly end up, right? Like a lot
No.
of it is just so much uncertainty and anxiety
Exactly.
about that.
Yeah.
How did you cope with that, Imad? Like, how did you tell yourself, I'll get through this and there will be a brighter future? Did you even tell yourself that,
No,
to be
no,
honest?
no,
Or
not
were you
really.
just
No,
taking
no,
it
no.
day by day?
No, actually, during those big crises, you don't really have the luxury of grieving or timing, or like you don't have all of this. You only need to act according to. You don't really know what's gonna happen next, and sometimes you don't really care what's gonna happen next. You're just gonna act, like, do something about it, like. Until I arrived to Izmir in Turkey, I didn't know about how I'm gonna cross the between Turkey and Greece. And then I found out this is how people doing it. It's about small dinky, a small boat between the two countries, and you have to deal with the smuggler. And oh my God, it's against everything I believed in. Like, I cannot deal with a smuggler. And then I had to. And then we had to hide in a carport between, let's say, Serbia and Austria through Hungary, again dealing with the smugglers. And it was, for me, it was First, this is not me. I don't break laws. Usually, I'm very like a reasonable person. Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
through. I take my time, think about it. But on that journey, I feel like it wasn't really me. I was acting like a hero, but it wasn't really me. I was scared all the time, afraid all the time. For example, in Calais, there was a huge camp called the Jungle,
Mm.
and all the way to between Izmir in Turkey and Calais, everyone keep talking to me about how scary is the jungle. So
Wow.
when I arrived there to Calais, I refused to go in. I stayed in Calais for 64 days and I cooked for 400 people inside the jungle, but I never ever seen the jungle. I was so scared to go in.
Oh my
And
gosh.
even when I went back to support the refugees in Calais, I couldn't even go in. It was out of my league. I was so scared to do it. And again, even in Syria, like when people keep saying like, "Oh, but you went to protest." Yes, at the very beginning, I didn't thought it will be that bloody protest. Like I
Yeah,
didn't thought
yeah.
in my worst dream, I didn't thought that there will be a live bullets against the protester. You know what I mean? Like it for me, it was something. I'm not like a brave person.
You couldn't have
Like
ever
no,
imagined.
no.
And you were put in a role that like
Yeah,
was
it's not my.
definitely, you were saying, not feeling natural for you, but I do think you're a hero in so many ways. And I think, Imad, you bring up so many important points for our listeners. One is that when you are living under a regime and you feel like there's an opportunity for peaceful protest and a right to speak up and use your voice, which every human being should have that right to do, you did nothing wrong by exercising that right to
No.
express yourself, right?
Yeah.
And there's millions of Syrians that did that there on the streets across the country, but also around the world. And, we lived under a brutal regime. So many Syrians lived under it for over a decade and much longer. But even, let's just say, in the crisis, the Syrian crisis that people refer to, it's 14 years of living under this for people. That's a very long time until there was liberation.
Yeah.
And so I'm so happy for our people. I'm happy for you. How does it feel that you know that Syria is liberated now? We just hit the 1 year anniversary of our liberation. It's an incredible feeling. But how does that feel, knowing that you were forced to flee and start all over again? What do you feel now, knowing that Syria is liberated, and that if you wanted to, you can go back down to Syria anytime?
Yeah, I did actually, and
Good.
yeah,
Tell me about it. How was it?
actually it was. Yeah, I thought it would be great, but I didn't thought that would be that great. Like
Oh,
it's
wow. It was
it's.
better than you thought.
Oh my God, it's amazing. I loved it. Like somehow I escaped Syria. Like I was, yeah, escaping like a criminal, and I went back now like a hero. Like it
It's
was a
amazing.
beautiful, amazing feeling. Everyone have like fall in love, everyone get married,
Yeah.
everyone. But to have your country back, it's
Mm-hmm.
the feeling is it's out of this world. I did,
Feeling.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a feeling of euphoria, I think. Something that is so unbelievably hard to explain to anybody who hasn't gone through that. And even for me, being born and raised in the diaspora and having a lot of limitations of being back inside Syria, even from the diaspora lens, just thinking like my people are free,
yeah,
that there is no fear
yeah,
of movement, no fear of using your voice. And even after living a brutal decades of a regime that led to the biggest refugee crisis and led to your journey, it's incredible to see stories like yours, Imad, because, I think oftentimes people look for the outlier, the exception.
yeah,
But I want to remind people that so many refugees, so many immigrants, so many displaced people have the resilience and the skills and the strength to build that new life like you did. But people oftentimes, because of the media, because of narratives, because of politics, stop that from happening. Amen. On that journey, when you're through your refugee journey, truly your displacement journey, can you recall any moments and reflections around families that you saw, moms that you saw struggling on that journey, moms who are pregnant, moms who had newborns? Is there anything that comes to mind when you think about just what you also witnessed of other people?
One of the things that I really, really wanted to be part of every pregnancy because of that journey. Not only
Wow.
because of that journey, to be honest. Like, first of all, um, so I'm a son of my mother had four of us. My oldest sister, she passed away a week later. She born, and
Allah
then there is a
yarhamha.
me. There is my sister and my younger brother, and my mother almost died with bringing my delivering my brother. She
Oh,
had to.
wow.
She was in labor for 2 days, and we all cesarean, the four of us, and she lost a lot of blood, and we almost lost her. Um,
Wow.
Actually, they even let us inside to say goodbye to our mom because we thought that she would never make it.
Remember that. You remember that
Oh,
so vividly.
yes,
How old were you?
9 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, my
Yeah, of
sister was
course.
8 and I was 9. So, yeah, and it was really, um, yeah, I don't know how women do it, but anyway, and then I had my first born child, Dana, and I thought
Oh,
that I'm strong enough. I wanted to be in the delivery room with my wife to support her, and I do remember her there, and she was saying, she was holding my hand, my wife, and she was saying, "It's okay, Habibi, don't worry, we're gonna make it." She was calming
she was
down.
calming you down.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then my mother grabbed me out and she said, "This is not yours. Just step outside. It's you're not gonna." Yeah, I was crying so hard, like like a
Oh,
baby. Yeah, again, it's so difficult. And then we had so between Turkey and Greece, the boat's supposed to be for 9 people. We were 54 in it.
oh my God.
And um, not only that, actually, from the 54, we had one pregnant lady. She was on her
Wow.
8th month.
Oh my
And
God.
we thought for a minute, the journey took around 3.5 hours. And we thought for a minute that she's gonna deliver in the boat because she was screaming like, I promise you, at that moment, I felt like we cannot hear anyone else but her. She was
Oh
so
my
in pain.
God.
I hope that she made it all right because after we arrived to Lesvos Mytilene in Greece, she had um, we were very trying to support her as much as we can. But there is always period between a man with a foreign, like with someone you barely know. Like we just met her
Yeah, of
on the boat.
course. Of course.
But because of what happened with her, they told us because of all of the pressure from before the boat, we were in a back of lorry. We were 95 people in back of lorry. And they said because of all of the pressure and because we stand there for 4 hours, this is where she get all of that pain. Hopefully she made it well. I never ever heard of her again. But
You
it
remember
was,
that
oh
moment.
my God, it was so scary. Actually, the other moment we were in the force between between Serbia and Hungary.
Yeah.
We were hiding, and there was a pregnant lady. She were next to us, But finally, when we made it to, she was on her ninth month. She was almost like in her last days. Lucky us, she didn't do it in.
She didn't go into labor right
Yes.
then.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that would be so scary. But we're still friends until now, actually. And she have her 10 years
Oh my gosh.
daughter now in Germany, and
Amazing.
yeah, her name is Layla, the daughter. I mean, she's amazing girl. But all of us were very very scared about this lady in the force.
Yeah.
What to do to support her, and but she made it. She's really well.
She now is 10.
Yes.
When you think about moms on this journey, and I often think, like, I don't know how any mom really goes through this, especially like a pregnant mom or a pregnant woman or a newborn mom. There's so many unknowns. And, you just describing your specific experience, Imad, and how hard it was for you, but also how hard it was for you to witness women and moms on this journey. Truly, because you can't imagine the amount of pain they're in, the conditions that they're going through. And so, even at every pregnancy, so many of our partners work in crisis settings, right, or post refuge or displacement settings, whether that be in Gaza or in Sudan or even in Syria or even in Somalia, Pakistan, Nigeria. So many settings where moms who are displaced are often facing the most unbearable challenges and the hardest circumstances. And that goes from young girls and women in their adolescence with menstruation, that goes into their pregnancies and making sure they have all the care they need, that goes into their nutrition, that goes into delivery, and then the newborn. So there's so many elements of this that are so critical. And so this is why, having you as a champion for every pregnancy is like you witness that journey for other moms and babies, but you also have such a strong connection to the moms in your family and the women in your family that you're a perfect champion for us. But then that's what segues me into your current life and the life that you've built in London, which is, by the way, so incredible to witness for me to see. Like when I was there in Soho on Carnaby Street, is that right? Carnaby
Yes.
Street? I'm at Syrian Kitchen. The vibes are perfect. The food is exquisite. And then transitioning to Aram too at Somerset House, the infamous Somerset House, for you to own a place there and have the first Syrian cafe in so many ways in this area and restaurant because you're cultivating a community. I just want to just like, wow, how does that feel for you to know that you've set this up, like that you have built this, and what does it do for the community that you're trying to cultivate? Because I know it's more than just food, which is in itself a language to communicate and build family, build community, and also advocate for charities, because you've done an incredible job with that and raising funds for charity. But I also know there's a bigger thing here, a bigger impact on the community you're forming, on the fact that you are creating a space for people to come and feel seen, to feel loved, to feel valued. So I just want to reflect on all of that. What do you want to say to all of these different points?
Actually, yeah. To be honest, when I first came to London, I felt in love with the diverse of the community in London, and this is something like all of this time from Syria to London. I was somehow ready for a new city to be in love with,
Yeah.
but everywhere I felt like I've been judged, with backpack, Syrian refugee, until I arrived to St. Pancras, and everyone looks so different. I felt like I look like everyone else. So this is why I wanted to do something for this community, to be part of it, to be. I loved it so much. So I wanted to create something um, for this community. I wanted to be part of it. This is why I feel like my food is not. It's Syrian food, but it's not targeting Syrian people. It's target everyone. Like no matter what is your background is, you would feel somehow related to this food. It's comfort food. It's simple food. It's mom food. And um, with all of the love to everything you said, but also
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
very super proud of us as a Syrian. Honestly, just because I have like a small tiny platform in Carnaby Street or in Somerset House or in Line, somehow people knows about my story and how rebuild
Yeah.
my life. But there is a lot more about it. Not only us. There is many different Syrians, lawyers, doctors, engineers, actors, BAFTA winners, Oscars, everywhere. I'm super proud of Syrian people in general, but mostly proud about, yes, I'm super proud of Imad Syrian Kitchen, Aram, my cookery
Yeah.
book. It's beautiful book. Um, but mostly I'm super proud of the relationship between me and my beautiful three daughters. They are
Oh.
they are the heroes. My oldest daughter Dana, she came to the UK with her second language is French, so she didn't speak English at all. Never ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And 4 years later, she get the best young achievement of the year because she get straight marks in her A levels, math and math and computer science,
That's incredible.
straight marks. And
Amazing, Dan.
now she just graduated from Warwick University. She's doing her she's doing her
Wow.
master in LSE. The middle one, she's doing her um, chemistry and computer science in Bristol. The youngest, Maryam, who's the smartest one, she's year 10. I'm super proud of them. They are my best friends, my advisors.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that, Imad. And I love that God gave you three daughters
yeah,
because he knew that you are so nurturing to women in your life, obviously. And the fact that you've helped be able to, you and your wife, to form them and like raise them and inspire them, I'm sure they find so much inspiration from you, to be honest, in your journey. And then, we've seen a lot of children of refugees in particular, those that grew up in displacement or in a new home or in a foreign city, they actually work 10 times
yeah,
harder, if not more,
yeah,
because they want to find home and they
yes.
want to establish roots in this community that they never thought that they would be part of. So your daughters are incredible examples, and I'm so proud of also hearing the relationship you have with them, and congratulations on raising them
Thank you.
and continuing to raise them in this way. And I feel like the relationship you have with your daughters and the relationship you have with the community is very much one and the same. I've seen you in action, prioritizing people at your restaurant. People come in, you stop, you say hello, even if you're busy, even if you're running out, you want to stop and give everyone that time. And I know you've had incredibly influential people come to your restaurant or get cater from you, not just because your food is good, by the way, which it is, but it's also, I think, because of the spirit that you bring, the love that you bring, the way that you communicate resilience through your food and your cuisine. And so for me, I want to talk about, emphasize that other people who I think oftentimes have nothing and start from nothing again wouldn't necessarily prioritize giving back to charity and giving back to the community in the way that you have. Like truly, you've not only been building yourself back up, but you've been giving at the same time. You were doing pop-ups just for charity.
Yes.
A lot of people don't have that mentality, Matt. Like truly. So what does it mean to you to be representing charity work and to raise money? I think you've raised over 450,000 pounds, which is like, I think, a lot more dollars,
Yeah.
right? The conversion. What does that mean to you, and why? Why did you decide to want to give back to charity? I want to hear a bit more about this whole journey.
Actually, it's all started from Damascus, to be honest.
Wow.
Somehow I felt like, as a Syrian in Damascus, I felt like when I lost my businesses and I lost my house, I felt like as a Syrian we left behind somehow, and the whole world forget about us until I arrived um, to Greece, and there at that time I found this beautiful old lady. She was waving to us, and When I looked at her face, she was more happy than me. You know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
yeah, that we are safe. Can you imagine? Like
Aw.
she was so happy, and it looks on her face that she was so happy that we are alive and safe. And she was screaming, "You are safe now. Don't worry. You are in Europe now."
Aw.
And I asked about her afterwards, after we like dried out, and they told me that she's an old Norway lady,
Oh, wow.
and she was on her vacation, and she seen the crisis of the refugee at that time, and she decided, you know what, I'm not gonna have a vacation. I'm gonna volunteer and support those people. And somehow I start believing human being again, you know, like, and it's not only her, to be honest. All of my journey, I found those beautiful examples about, like, for example, in Calais, there was this beautiful lady. Actually, we became like best friends now. She's, yeah,
Wow.
we're gonna spend
I love
Christmas
that.
together. She's her name is Frederique. I'm visiting her. She used to come every morning and leave us a pot of tea with the smiley face on it every single morning for 64 days. She never ever missed one morning.
Oh
Just
my
before
God.
her
What an
routine
incredible
of,
woman.
yes,
What an
all of
angel.
those people makes me feel like there is an angels in this world. I believed in
Absolutely.
humanity again, and I believe in human being again, and I wanted to pay back somehow. Um, by the way, working with charities, supporting charities, it doesn't really take anything from your business. It's adding to it.
Mm.
It's promoting to it. So don't be afraid to support charities if you are a business owner or a business manager or whatever. Please support charities, because I promise you it doesn't really take anything from your business. It's add to it. We
Absolutely.
raised £450,000 for charities before we opened our restaurant, and now
That's
it's much
amazing.
much more. Every table in our two restaurants, we pay £1 for charities. Um, and by the way, this is not even in our website or something. We do it because of our team wanted to do it. Because of
Wait, Imad, just to be clear, so you saying that everyone who comes and dines in at any of your
every
restaurants,
table,
every time, every table, so every like basically table people sitting and eating,
yes, we
no matter
pay.
how many throughout the
Yeah,
day,
we
you
paid
you pay one
one
pound
pound.
to
Yeah,
charity. That's
yeah,
incredible.
and
Oh my God,
and
it's probably millions of pounds at this point.
actually, honestly, we believe it's. Let's consider it that way. If you give and you don't feel much better than the receiver, there is something wrong about this. You should feel
Absolutely.
much better as a giver than the receiver. And this is will makes this is like, I mean, supporting charities makes me feel good about myself and about my community and about how grateful we are about be able to be the giver and not the receiver, because at some point I lost it all. And honestly, for someone who almost lost everything, believe me, it's very important to be on the other part and not be the receiver.
I think that is such a powerful reflection. And the fact that you think about that and you're intentional about that, that you're like, I'm in a blessed position, a privileged position to be the giver instead of the receiver. And that is so powerful. I imagine the fact that you want to continue to give to those who are in need. And I know your charity work spans many regions, many countries. You've helped people locally in the UK. You've helped women and moms and families across the world. And now you're part of the Every Pregnancy Coalition, which is over 50 organizations that are all working on the front lines of providing maternal newborn health programs. Imad, you were just with us at our convening recently, where we brought all of the partners together. And you got to witness 3 days
They,
of ideating and co-architecting and meeting everybody and seeing truly the work that every pregnancy does in its collaborative nature, the first of its kind to bring together, honestly, the Muslim organizations or faith-inspired organizations under the maternal newborn health framework. What are some reflections of the convening that you felt after you witnessed it all in person?
oh my God, they are heroes, by the way, all of them.
Yeah.
Honestly. And honestly, it was very emotional to me. Like, I couldn't process it all. Yes, I learned a lot, and but process it all was too hard emotional for me. But to be honest, seeing how hard they work, it's give me hope. And I wanted to do more and keep talking about it more and more, because it's very important topic. It's very difficult to think about how much they do, how much they care, how much they are passionate about what they're doing. They are the true heroes.
That's amazing. And I know that when you shared your story, everybody felt so connected to you, because it kind of goes to show, which is the whole purpose of building a movement like this, that no matter what your background is, you still have a role to play here, because we all came from a mom. We all know multiple, right, moms in our lives, whether that be your own partner or your daughters or whoever it may be in the future. But you can be connected to this mission. And this is a mission that is universal. And it should feel relatable to everybody. And I know you even connected with some of the doctors that were even working in Lesbos, Greece at the time and serving with the refugee community. And I thought that was such a beautiful, beautiful, powerful moment when you talked about it at the convening.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Imad.
Yeah, actually, yeah, having all of the supports from them there, and having all of those motions from them, it was incredible. It was
I
like
love that.
yeah, very emotional for me. It was, to be honest. Yeah. So thank you so
Oh,
much for
I
having
think it was
me.
emotional for all of us.
Yeah.
We were all talking about how much we cried during
Yeah.
the convening. Happy tears,
Yes.
good tears. Of course, we're looking forward to having you be part of so many more convenings in the future.
Thank you
Imad,
so
if you are, going to tell a message around supporting moms and babies' health, supporting charity, the connection between food and this mission, what would you want to tell people who are listening who have not engaged with a mission like this before, or who don't necessarily maybe even understand how to give back to charity? What would your message to them be?
To be honest, before, like, I thought that this is very, very obvious message, but people doesn't really understand, me neither. Like, we don't really understand how big is the crisis and how much we can do to like to support. Like, you can do to have a results. You can do it. Like, it's not impossible to support. It's sometimes you feel like you are desperate or you cannot support, but with every pregnancy you can support. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not impossible. You can do something to change, to make changes. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something like it's impossible for you to support.
Yeah,
Like,
it's solvable.
It is.
It's a solvable
it is.
crisis.
Yeah, we just need your support. You have to support. Woman is not half of our society. It's the whole of it, because as you said before, everyone have a mother, everyone have a sister, have a daughter. So this is us. Like, we cannot say this is half of it. It's all of us. So
Absolutely.
you don't really need to convince anyone to support. It's obvious. You need to support. You have to support. So
I love this.
yeah.
I love it. You're the perfect ambassador.
Thank you so much.
Why do I need to even convince you?
Yeah.
And I love that you said women are not half of society. They are all of it.
Of course.
What a beautiful and powerful message. Ahmed, for those that are struggling in their journey, for those that maybe have a wrong narrative about refugees and immigrants and displaced people, you literally shatter those stereotypes. But what would be your message for the kindness in the building the community that you are actively building every single day in the UK and around the world? Because you're right, your message goes out to everybody, and it connected with me all the way in Washington, D.C., and I know it's connected with so many people. But what would you want to tell people who are struggling with that? And in the current world that we're living in today, there's so much polarization. There's so much vilifying. There's so much othering. Like, what is your message on that piece of all of this?
One word, hope.
Yeah.
There is always will be hope. I promise you, in 2010, in 2011, I never ever thought that I will be a refugee one day. Never ever in my life. And I did. And then, in my best dreams ever, I never ever thought that we will have Damascus back. And look at us now. So
Look at us now. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
And honestly, there will always will be hope for everyone around the world. Even people in Gaza, in Sudan. We never ever thought that we will have our country back. And now we do. So yeah, grab your hope, because there is hope, and hopefully one day you will have your day.
Absolutely. Beautifully said, Imad. What a powerful message to end this on. Thank you, Imad,
Thank
for
you
being
so
an
much.
incredible advocate and a champion for us. How can people support your work? Where can they follow you online? What's coming up next? I want to hear all of it.
Yeah, coming up next. It's a secret still yet, so yeah.
Okay, fine.
I will, but please follow Aram and Imad Syrian Kitchen, and most importantly, come and dine with us. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. We're so excited because what started off as a Instagram DM connection has led to this beautiful relationship between me and Imad and Every Pregnancy, and really finding the most beautiful human beings. I truly mean that, Imad.
Thank you
Like,
so
you
much.
really
Thank
are
you.
one of the
Thank you
most
so
beautiful
much.
human beings.
Thank
I
you.
know. To be part of this mission, I'm so honored to be on this journey
Thank you
with
so
you.
much.
And we all are standing behind you, myself, the Every Pregnancy team, and I'm sure anyone who listens to this will be so inspired by your story. So thank you for
Thank you
your
so much.
vulnerability. Thank you for your kindness. And thank you for reminding us that care doesn't start in hospitals. It starts with people like yourself who refuse to look away, who refuse to turn a blind eye, and who prove that even when everything collapses, solidarity, community, and hope can still save lives and emerge. To our listeners, if one man with one pot of food and an incredible culinary talent can feed 400 refugees and many more, and support causes and support charity in so many ways, imagine what all of us can do. If you are moved by this episode, think about how you can transform your compassion into action. And listening to Imad's message of we must do everything we can to support moms and babies. This is not just a mission that we should be convinced about. It's a mission that should be ingrained in all of us. So please continue to support Every Pregnancy. Follow us at Every Pregnancy on social media. Visit everypregnancy.org to learn more and sign up for our updates in our newsletter, and join us in making every pregnancy safe. Thank you so much, Imad, for being here. We are so honored to have you, and sending you so much love and care always.
Thank you so much, Isra.